Okay, so we are going to continue on your Unit 7 test review. We are starting with number 10. So number 10 says a bag contains 8 hats, 3 of which are black. A purse contains 9 marbles, 2 of which are red. One hat is randomly selected from the bag, and 1 marble is randomly selected from the purse. Which expression gives the probability of selecting 1 black hat and 1 red marble? So the only thing you should know, or one thing you should know, is that and means multiply. So we definitely want one that multiplies out of your answer choices. Okay, and so you want to get 1 black hat. Okay, so 1 black hat, which would be, it says you have 3 that are black out of 8, so that'll be 3 over 8. And then and means times. And then you want to get 1 red marble. So you say, how many possibilities do you have to get a red marble? Well, 2 are red, and so you have 2 possibilities out of a total of 9 marbles. And so you would just look for the one that has your answer, and your answer would be A. Okay. All right, number 11 says that Tatiana draws a towel from a bag and records the results. The bag contains towels labeled SPAGHETTI. Based on this information, which statement is true? Okay, so first thing is that you should know, because of your answer choices, you should know what a vowel is and what a consonant is. So your vowels are the letters A, E, I, O, and U. Your consonants are every other letter other than these 5. Okay, so make sure you know that. So what you want to do is you want to count the vowels that are in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a section for vowels. Okay, and I'm going to make a section for consonants. Because if you look at your answer choices, you want to find vowels and consonants and then compare them. So, all right, so we're going to do the part that we want, which is vowels, over always our total. Okay, and then for consonants, I'm going to do the same thing. So I want consonants over my total. Okay, all right, so we just have to go and count how many vowels there are in this word. So remember A, E, I, O, and U. Okay, so we have an A, we have an E, and we have an I. Those are the only vowels that I see. And so that would be 3 vowels out of a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 letters. Okay. And so what I want to do to be able to compare them, since they're using decimals, is change this to a decimal. And so remember, all we do is divide, and usually I'll do it by using Nerd and Donkey. And so that just means that 3 will go on the inside and 9 will be on the outside. And if I do divide, I will get 0.3 repeating. Okay. Now let's do the consonants. Okay. So I have everything but the vowel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consonants out of a total of 9 letters. Okay. So same thing. They're talking about decimals, so I'm going to go ahead and get a decimal. And if I divide, putting 6 on the inside and 9 on the outside, I will get 0.6 repeating. Okay. Now, they're saying I want to know, okay, whether one is less likely or more likely to happen than the other one. So what I'm going to do, and make sure you do this, is just divide my 2 decimals. Okay, so I'm going to take my big number and put it on the inside. and divide it by my smaller number, which is 0.3. Okay. Remember, when I'm dividing decimals, I have to make sure the decimal's at the end. If not, I have to move it. So this one had to move once, and whatever I do on the outside, I do on the inside. I'll shoot that straight up. And so 3 can't go into 0, but 3 does go into 6 twice to get 6. And so the answer is 2. And so that just means that my consonant, the bigger one, is 2 times more likely. Okay, why? It's the bigger number. Okay, so that's more likely because it's the bigger number. And then this one, then the vowel would be 2 times less likely. And why? Because it's the smaller number. Okay, so that's less likely to happen. And so we'll just see which one matches what we have. A says that she is 1.5 times less likely to draw a vowel than a consonant. So is that true? Yes, it is. Okay, the smaller one is 2 times less likely than the bigger one. Okay, and so that would be, actually, remember our number was 2. That's my mistake, okay, not 1.5. And so the 1.5 will not work for this one because I got an answer of 2, okay? And so it's actually, let's see, she is twice as likely to draw a consonant than a vowel. Twice as likely. So she is more likely to get a consonant than a vowel. And so twice as likely is going to be the answer. Okay? So you got to make sure that your number does match what they have. Number 12 says Jacob tossed 4 quarters at the same time. What is the probability that all 4 quarters will land on heads? Okay? So I did write down, you tossed it 4 times, so that is 4 actions that you did. Okay? And because of that, you should have 4 fractions. So for every action, there should be a fraction. Okay? And that just means a probability. So we are doing heads. Remember your labels. And then that is always over our total. So the part that we want is heads. So, and we're doing coins. So we're going to do it 4 times. So I'm going to have 4 fractions multiplied by each other. Okay. Okay. So I can get ahead 1 time out of 2 because my 2 choices are heads and tails. And so for coins, you have 2 total choices. And I'll do that 4 times, because you want them all to land on heads. And so once you do that, you will just solve. Remember, we would just multiply across. So 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. And then 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So please make sure you do not add, and instead you do multiply. Okay. Number 13, Niobe has 2 number cubes. The red number cube has the following numbers on the faces: 132, 566. The blue number cube has the following numbers on the faces: 122, 456. Which of the following is true? So we definitely want what's true. So we're just going to go through and see whether they are true. Okay, so the first one says the probability of rolling a number less than 6 is the same for both number cubes. So we're going to try it for red and for blue and see what we get. Okay, so they said they want to do less than 6. So everything that is less than 6, so not 6. So for the red, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of 6. And for the blue, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6. Okay. Remember, if you can simplify, you do. And so that simplifies to 2/3 if you need it. But they said that the number would be the same for both, and it is not, okay, because this was 4/6, which were reduced to 2/3, and this was 5/6, so they are not the same, and so that is not the answer. All right, B says the probability of rolling an even number cube is greater for the red number cube. Okay, so we'll do this one here. So we'll do one for red, then we'll do one for blue. Okay, so for red, it's going to be even. We're looking for even, right? So that is your 2, your 4, and your 6s. So for red, it's going to be, we have 2, 6, 6, and so that's going to be 3 numbers out of a total of 6. For your blue, even, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's going to be 4 numbers out of 6. They said it was greater for the red one. No, it was actually greater for your blue one. So that is not true. Okay, I will do this one here. Okay, the probability of rolling an odd number, so we're looking at odd numbers, so 1, 3, and 5. And they said it's less for the red cube. So let's see. We're going to do one for red and one for blue. Okay. All right. So for red, we got 1, you got your 3, and you got a 5. Okay. And so you have 3 out of 6. And then for blue, your odd numbers would be 1 and 5. So that's 2 numbers out of 6. And so they said it was going to be less for the red cube, and that is not true. Your red cube had more. So, all right, and I'm going to do my D right here. The probability of rolling a number greater than 4 is greater for the red cube. So for the red cube, greater than 4 would be the 5, the 6, and the 6. So that's 3 numbers out of a total of 6. And then for blue, greater than 4 is going to be the 5 and the 6. And so that's 2 numbers out of 6. And so they said it's greater for the red cube. That is true. Okay, so it was greater than for the red cube. Okay. Okay, so number 14 says that a deli offers bag lunches with 2 bread choices and 3 meat choices, as shown in this tree diagram. Okay, what is the probability that someone will randomly choose a ham sandwich? Okay, and like I always do, I like to use labels, so make sure you use those. Okay, so we want ham, and then we always put whatever we want over the total. Okay, so for ham, I see 1, 2. So that's going to be 2 out of a total of 6 sandwiches. And so all I do is I simplify. And so I see that 2 can go into both of those evenly and not get a decimal. And so 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So your answer is going to be 1/3. Okay. All right. Number 15, a basket contains the following letter tiles. Okay. What is the probability of randomly drawing a consonant? So remember, your consonants are everything except A, E, I, O, and U. So you just want to count your consonants that you have. Okay. And do not count the vowels. So I have the T, I have the R, the L, the X, the W, the B, the M, and the V. Okay, and so we want consonants, and so that will go on top for my probability, and it's always over just my total. Okay, so let's count and see how many consonants we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 consonants out of a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. And then all you do is you simplify if you can, and I can. So a number that goes into both of those, we can use 2 or we can use 4. I'll usually go with the bigger one just to get there faster. But if you use 2, you can get there if you just go again by 2. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay. I don't see it in this fraction form, but I do see it in clock form. So let's just change it. And so your 2 is first, which is on top, and so it goes first. And then 3 is on the bottom, so that goes last. Make sure it is in that order. Okay, so your answer is C. And then your last one, number 16. Aiden has index cards with the following letters written on them. Okay, here are your letters. Which the following statements is true? So when they usually do it like that, I just go one by one. And then before we do that, you should know that complement, okay, because in your answer choices, you have the word complement. And so that just means what is not that letter. You're counting everything that is not that letter. That's what complement means, okay? And just so you know, your probability plus your complement always equals 1, okay? All right, so let's go through them. It says the probability of drawing a card with the letter L, okay? So we're going to go ahead and find the probability of that. Okay, so we have 1L out of a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters is greater than its complement. So we're going to count everything that is not L. That's what complement means. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 7. That is not true. Okay, 1/7 is not greater than 6/7. B says the probability of drawing a card with the letter M, W, or T is greater than its complement. So we're just going to count all the M's, W's, and T's and put that number on top. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 out of a total of 7 is greater than its complement. So I'm counting everything that is not a M, a W, or a T, which is 1, 2, 3. Okay, so they said that this was greater than its complement, and that is true. So that is your answer.